network is your net worth. So, and also to see what's possible, and then educate yourself, educate to dominate. All right. And then you want to act. And within a couple of years, you can make pretty decent progress. We have clients who, within 4 years achieve $14, $10 for Airbnb. A lot of things are possible, but first you have to come to events like this to see what's possible. All right. So you guys notice that within this group here, right? We have wholesalers and flippers and ADU people, developers, lenders. So in the past few months, there has already been many deals done within this group alone. So, a lot of things are possible. So it's very exciting. So first we come to educate, learn from each other, network, and we can do things together. Like Jeff said over here, you have to work hard. So success doesn't come to those who wait. Success comes to those who work, right? But if you work, especially from people who have proven, the steps. It's like planting a seed. You plant apple, you get apple trees. You know what to expect. So just follow people who have done it, and you'll get the same result. All right.
All right. So obviously we have a diverse group here, different life experiences, different professional capacities, a lot of different ideas, different capital allocation, different people, different profiles. And that's what this is all about, is bringing all these cool people into a room and hanging out, and we can all learn something from each other and benefit when we put our heads together. So I really, really sincerely appreciate everybody just showing up. And it's a lot better than the opposite. Just showing up goes a long way. And I didn't really know what I was going to talk about this time, because usually I secure a guest speaker. Last month it was Andrew, who was fantastic, really fantastic, wealth of knowledge when it comes to syndications and multifamily and commercial investment. So I figured I had to talk about something. So I want to talk about some of the deals that I've been doing as a broker. And I think if you're a real estate professional, or if you're an investor, or you're a wholesaler, you're just getting in the game, whatever you are, you might take a helpful tidbit. And I hope someone gets something out of this. These are deals that either have closed or are about to close. So I got my CRs, my contingency removals. So that means I can share all the juicy gossip and spill all the secrets now that the deal is secured. Starting with an apartment building that I'm selling in Midtown Sacramento. So I'm gonna quiet down a little bit. So it's a 6-unit building. It's a 6-unit apartment building in Midtown Sacramento, and it's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. It's in a great location, and I think we secured a nice price on it. They were asking 1.25 million. We came in at 1.15 million, which would have been a really sweet deal. They countered back, and we went back and forth and back and forth. And finally, we settled on 1,175,000. Got a $75,000 price reduction for the client. The seller's happy, the buyer's happy, everybody's happy. But there were challenges, starting with the fact it's a 6-unit building, so you have 6 different tenants, and it's stabilized. They're all occupied. So every time we want to do our walkthroughs, the family wants to see it. The inspectors have to go in there, and there's 4 different inspectors. The appraiser has to go in. We got to do our final walkthrough. Every time we want to get inside the building, we have to bother 6 families, 6 people. And that's a problem, but with every problem, there's a solution. And in this case, it was communication. So the agent on the other side is fantastic, a class act, really professional. And we did our best to minimize disruptions to the tenants. And we got everything done, thankfully. But then, of course, there's another problem. The rate lock expired. The lenders in the room know what that means. It means that the bank held our interest rate, and then the deal went on just a little bit too long, because after the first appraisal, suddenly they needed a second appraisal, and there's an unexpected delay. We lost the rate. Now, even though interest rates actually ticked down during that time, they charged my client $3,000 to extend the rate. It's a total scam. It's a total scam, but it happens. We worked through it. We got a 9-day extension, and I've been pressing and pressing and pressing between escrow and the underwriters, and we're getting it done. And then another problem with that one was property management. The current owner is self-managing. So normally when you're selling a multifamily building, there's probably a property manager in place who understands the building, who has a pre-existing relationship with the tenants, and it should be a really smooth handoff from the old owner to the new owner. But in this case, my client didn't know how to proceed because it's her first time investing. Thankfully, being a property manager, I got all the files organized. I showed her how to use some basic bookkeeping software. For new investors, it's called Stessa. It's the word assets backwards. I personally use it for some of our properties. I sometimes use it. It's free, it's user-friendly. You can connect your bank account and do your property bookkeeping. You can track your tenant lease agreements. You can store your files. It's a really helpful software. It's called Stessa, and I would highly recommend it. So problems, solutions, we get the deal done. You got to keep a level head and just get it done. And then another deal that I've been working really hard on was a listing. It's a beautiful new build single family home. And nobody told me that somebody committed suicide inside the property within the last 3 years, which means we have to disclose that. So of course it's a terrible tragedy, but for me, from a business perspective, it is a problem. And I have to navigate it, and I have to navigate it in a way that's sensitive and loving, because it's a serious situation. But we got through that. Ultimately, we found a buyer. We got very, very close to list price, just a very mild discount. Problem solved for us, from a business standpoint. Problem solved. Still a tragedy. But the other problem was it's tenant occupied, because when the purchase happened, they thought they were going to be living there, and then a tragedy occurred, and the family didn't know what to do, so they rented the place out. And then they realized they were upside down on their mortgage and they had to sell it. So not only did I get them under contract, but I started a conversation with the tenants and with the property manager. I extended the escrow period. I navigated a lease buyout with the tenants. I negotiated a very fair deal for all parties. And the tenants I helped the tenants identify a replacement rental. Everybody's happy. We're going to pay the property manager for the next few months, so she doesn't freak out. We can break her management agreement. Problem. All solved. It took some elbow grease. It took a little bit of creativity, but you get it done.
Noah had many years of property management experience, managing hundreds of units. So yeah, this come in handy.
So that's that deal, and we got it done. What's up, Philip? It's my brother. Another transaction that we're in the home stretch is a small Airbnb property. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath, single-family home. Beautiful, but it's in Oak Park. It's not the greatest area. But we had to get it sold. It was a listing. It was a referral from a current client, so I took it maybe more seriously than I already would. It's a referral. That means it's relationships, and that speaks volumes about how we handle our relationships. So I wanted to take really good care of her. So we put it on the market. I did the neighbors landscaping before the showings, just to make sure that everything was beautiful. I'm knocking on doors. I really wanted this to go well. And as soon as we put it on the market, I got 3 showing requests first day. So what I did was I coordinated all those showings at the same time, and I didn't tell nobody. So all the buyers are coming in and they get to stare each other in the eyes while they walk through this property. That applies a little bit of pressure, and pressure tends to
Competition.
it made them more agreeable to our terms. And we got a very strong offer, $15,000 over asking. clean terms. We're in escrow. Everything looks great. The client is jumping up and down. First time buyers got cold feet. They backed out for no good reason. They bailed. So back to the drawing board. That sucks. I did not cry about it. I did not whine to the client that my life is so hard. I just went back to work. And we coordinated more showings, but then now we have another problem, which is because this is a current Airbnb. And the owner just went through a major life change. She cannot afford to block off the Airbnb every day. We have to keep revenue coming in. So I'm trying to respect our Airbnb guests while also getting this property sold. So what Sean and I did is we capped the bookings at 5 nights. We keep the place 100% occupied in March, 100% occupancy in March for that Airbnb. But we also had enough space in between to continue offering showings and coordinating with buyers. It was a tall task, but ultimately we got it back in escrow, $10,000 over asking. That should close in a week or so. And I'm happy about all this. That was a good month. I think we worked hard, and I certainly learned from the experience, and I hope you guys did too. And if you have any other questions about any of that, feel free to hang out with me after. So, yeah, we have a little bit of time.
Every deal has challenges, right? I see a lot of agents always navigating, struggling, whatever. But basically, we have to lead by example, right? And also help the agents navigate theirs too. Basically, as a team, you can get a lot done, right? And today we are here to educate each other, right? I don't profess to know everything, right? So we all have to learn from each other. A lot of people have this wrong mentality that when you're done with school, you're done with education, right? That is formal education, right? People stop learning. Formal education can make you a living, right? But self-education can make you a fortune. Most people who are self-made millionaires, billionaires, they did not inherit the money. They figure out, solutions, pain points to problems that affect a lot of people, and they get greatly awarded for it. So you do things that people do what people don't want. Okay, then you will have what people don't. Okay, so we live in the American dream. There's a lot of things that can be done, especially if you work hard, you constantly educate yourself, and try to do it with a team. You'll get a lot more done. All right.
We have a little bit of time before the music begins. If anybody happens to have any questions about what I just talked about or anything else, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, we're just gonna hang out for a little while and grab some drinks and chill.